All right, thank you very much for the very nice intro, Ashley. So, like she said, I am Tyler Hassman, born and raised in Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan, just like 10 minutes outside the city. But, a lot of people that live in the city think it's like 45 minutes to an hour outside. It's ridiculous. But anyways, so like Ashley said, I am in real estate and I have been for a while, but, I'm going to share a story. Well, the first part is I've done many speaking events and all that, but it's always about the real estate. And I'll always be talking about like, here's how I bought real estate at this young age. Here's what I do. And we have like PowerPoints and all that. And I've never actually shared my story with anybody or actually been like vulnerable. So I was sitting down with Ashley, I was just telling her some stuff, and then in the back of my mind, I'd say something, I'd tell her something. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have told her that because now she's gonna make me tell you guys that. And so it's gonna be my first time doing that, so I'm super, super excited. But anyways, let's get started. Okay, so have you guys ever looked like 5 years ago in the past and compared who you were then to who you are now? And I'm sure Facebook helps you guys out with that. With Facebook memories, you're just having a great day and you go on your phone and then it's like, hey, look at what you posted 5 years ago, and it's a picture and you're looking at the picture thinking, what was I possibly wearing? Like, what kind of trends were going on, or did I just not know how to dress? Or you'll see a status that pops up from 4 years ago and you're thinking, what on earth was going through my mind that I wanted to just share that with the whole world? Now, I have been there, and I have been there. So, like I said, currently I am president and co-founder of M&H Real Estate Investments, and what that is a real estate investment company, hence the name. And I've been doing that with my business partner Bailey for about 2 years now, and we just blew up basically, and now we got over 12.6 million in real estate, 86 different rental doors. So it's quite the task that we have on our hands. Sometimes we're thinking we bit off more than we can chew, but we just chew it anyways. So about 5 years ago, it's funny because I was an aspiring rapper. Yeah, like literally. So when I say that Facebook Memories pops up, I know how that feels when you're like, oh, because now on my Facebook you see like podcast interviews, real estate interviews, I'm speaking at real estate events, talking about market trends. And then my Facebook Memories pops up and it's like a YouTube video link I shared and it's like, oh, this beat is so sick, check it out, you guys. And I'm like, oh my God. And I like quickly hit delete, making sure nobody's like scrolling through 5 years of my newsfeed and seeing that. So yeah, I have been there and it sucks. But where am I going with this? I'm just talking about random stuff about how I used to be a rapper and all that, right? Oh, yeah. So, as you can tell, I have significantly grown and changed over the past 5 years. And it almost feels like every single year I change significantly. So, I'm going to start my story off back in elementary school. So, in elementary, I was getting straight A's. I skipped grade 6. Yes, I skipped a grade. I was that smart. And I was just a model student. And then in high school, I got straight D's. I skipped classes instead of grades, barely graduated, and I was selling t-shirts out of my locker during break and during lunch and all that, and even during class sometimes. Somebody sent me the text. And I was also an aspiring rapper. I can't forget about that one. And university. I couldn't get in. Well, 99% of me just didn't want to go, and the other 0.1% is because I didn't have the grades and I didn't have the classes either. I most definitely didn't have any of that. So the only way to get in was to up the classes or take more classes through high school again. So I did the most logical thing, and what you guys probably thought I did. I went to be a car salesman. That's the first thing that came into my mind. I can't get into university. I should go be in car sales. So I went to the Mercedes-Benz dealership when I was 17 out of high school. They wouldn't hire me as a salesman, but I'm like, there's some nice cars here. Like, what can I do? Like, you can be a lot boy. You can run cars around, fill them up with gas, bring them up. So I'm like, okay, I'll be the best damn lot boy you ever had. And usually the lot boys don't dress up. But here I am wearing like a 3-piece suit every day, brushing snow off cars and washing cars. And I was like, I don't care. And then I was there for about 3 years. And I was actually a salesman 6 months after being a little lot boy. So yeah, I was selling cars for about 2 years. I loved it. And then during that time, I met up with my business partner, Bailey, at Atlantis Coffee downtown. I was about probably maybe 18, 17 and a half, 18. And we were writing down ways to get rich and ideas. We were just writing, and we were getting frustrated. We couldn't figure out anything. And then we were sitting there all pissed off, and I look across the street and I see a huge gold shiny building, and it's curved, the SAS Power building. And we're like, what if we had our logo on top there? What if we owned that building? And then we're like, bam, let's do real estate. So a lot of people, it's funny because whenever I go to these real estate events, a lot of people are like, oh, what got you into real estate? Is it like real estate? Is it having long-term passive income, comfortable retirement, the capital gains? What is it? And me and Bailey look at each other, we're like, I don't know, we were just like 18, we saw a gold shiny building, we're like, let's do real estate. So that's how that actually started, and like I said, we just significantly grew with it. We just put our head down, and we didn't care about our age or anything. I mean, like literally, like it's so funny how much I've changed, because 5 years ago, I was literally just doing the stupidest stuff imaginable, and now what I do for a living is go around and raise capital. People give me their hard-earned money because I make them more money than the banks do. You know, it's actually kind of funny how that has all changed, but I never let my age get in the way. Now, knowing who you are and what you truly want to do in life, but holding that back just to pursue something else because you want to please others creates such a difficult feeling for yourself that only those who have been through that or are currently going through that could ever explain. And some people out there might just say, well, you just need to step up and do something about it. Just change your life, change your ways, just do something. But what if you don't know what that something is? So my whole life, I literally feel like I've been an entrepreneur. So I told you a little bit about the entrepreneur stuff, but since I can remember, I was cutting all my neighbors' lawns for cash. I was selling t-shirts out of my locker, and while I was in high school, I was reading as many business books and studying all these businessmen when I should have been paying attention to math class. I mean, I was just literally obsessed with the fact that you're able to create your own legacy, create your own money, basically, and let your creative side shine and sell it to other people and bring value to their life and make money from it. And you have full control. Like, you have no boss above you, and I just love that feeling, the feeling of freedom. But even with all that energy and desire, I still felt stuck and controlled, and I was always questioning the whole entrepreneur thing. So like I said, in high school, I was horrible. Like, I was like, you know when like they, like near the end of the school year in high school, they bring the grade 8s in, they show them like a tour of the school. Like I'm that bad kid that like just messed up so hard from like getting straight A's, model students, skipping grades to basically I was labeled as like a burnout, someone who doesn't apply themselves. And it's one of those stories of like, you were doing so good, now you're doing awful. So it's almost like they were bringing like the grade 8s around and they're like, oh, you got to be like that person. Here's that classroom. Oh, and where's that Tyler kid? Like, we got to show you what not to be like. That's literally how I was in high school. And it built a really bad image on me, and it hurt a lot because deep down I knew that wasn't me. You know, I was, after class and when I was skipping class or when I was at home, I'd be reading like business books, like I said, Think and Grow Rich. I'd be writing my aspirations down or writing down my dreams, my vision. I'd be planning. But nobody saw that. Nobody understood what was going on in my mind. They just simply saw me failing photography class or never showing up to biology. And that had a huge emotional effect on me. Like, I didn't give a shit about the grades, to be honest, or getting those Fs, and I still don't care about that. But the whole emotional effect and the image that created for me, that everybody created for me, that had a huge effect on me. And then upon graduating high school, obviously everybody asked the question, what are you going to do after high school? And it was kind of, not funny, but everybody would come up to me first. Like even parents or like friends or like teachers, they'd always want to be like, oh, what's Tyler going to do? Like, he threw his whole life away. He didn't do anything in high school. What is he going to do? Some people just because maybe it's funny or they actually want to know, or some of the people wanted probably to ask so they feel better about themselves. So I would lie. I would lie to absolutely everyone. I would lie and say that I'm going to up my grades and go to university. Or I'm just going to go work for a couple years and go to university and figure out something from there. The key word in there is lie. Like, why was I lying? I always knew why I was lying, but nobody else knew. Everybody knew I was lying. But have you ever not told the truth about something because it's just much simpler to lie? Or have you ever not told the truth about who you truly want to become because it's just you're scared of the criticism that might come with that? Or are you telling lies about what you truly want to do and what your true passions are because you're scared that people are going to judge you and say shit about you? You know? And one thing with me is, I don't know about you guys, but have you guys ever just laid in bed and like visualized yourself, or been on your phone, you see somebody that you want to be, you just visualize yourself being that, and then you open your eyes and just snap back to reality and think not even the closest people in your life know that side of you, and you're too scared to pursue that because you don't want to lose those people? Like, I know how that feels. I've been there. And I've lied many, many times to the closest people in my life about what I truly want to do and who I truly was. And it just took a huge effect on me. But it doesn't have to be that way. So here I am telling lie after lie after lie. And the worst part is, now these lies started feeling like the truth. So like, I was just killing myself. Next thing you know, I was like, wow, now maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I should be going to university. And it was hard. I was killing that young gun entrepreneur, that ambition I had, all that drive I had. I was just killing that just because I wanted to be seen by others as, okay, he's no longer this burnout. He's no longer this guy that doesn't apply himself. He actually does have a future ahead of him. So I was really stuck in a weird situation, and I wasn't sure what to do. So like I said, I was lying to everybody. And then 2 years went by, and I was selling cars at Mercedes. So it was a great job. I mean, I loved it. I learned a lot, got to wear nice suits, got good money, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But it was funny because now everybody started seeing me different. Nobody's seen me, like all my peers, nobody's seen me no more as some burnout who doesn't give a shit about his future, who doesn't apply himself and is just some kid that's gonna grow up one day. I started to be seen by everybody. Like, all the conversations were different, everything. People started talking to me that never talked to me before. It just all changed because I was now seen as this kid selling Mercedes at a young age, 18, and now he's got a good, comfortable future ahead of him. And I thought that's what I was after the whole time. I was going through all that, emotional stress and anxiety and all that. That's what I thought I wanted, just be accepted by everybody else and be swimming downstream and being like another brick in the wall. That's cliche, but that's really what I thought I wanted. And then I'd get home from work, and I'd just lay in bed and I'd just be like, I'm miserable. I felt worse than I did before. And I was very, very, very confused because I thought that this would make me happy. Now everybody's proud of me, everybody's happy for me, and I was like, why do I feel like worse than ever? And then what happened was, one day when I was at the dealership, I was on my phone because, to be honest, when you're not dealing with a customer, what car salesmen do is they're just watching YouTube videos or they're on their phone scrolling through Instagram. So I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see this quote, and it changed my life forever. And the quote is by Andre Gide. I might have pronounced his name wrong. I didn't do much research on him. But his quote's amazing. And the quote goes, "It is better to be hated for what you are than loved for who you are not. It is better to be hated for what you are than loved for who you are not." And I screenshotted that right away, cropped it, put it as my background. And I had some sort of connection with it right away. I felt connected. I'm like, wow. But I didn't know it at the time. So I put it as the background, and I just kept looking at it. And then all of a sudden, one day it hit me. I was like, why am I not happy? Why am I like this? Why am I worse than I was before, but everybody else is happy for me? Everybody else telling me they're proud. What is wrong with me? And one of the worst parts is I'd get home from work and I'd see all these business books and all this stuff, and I'd have my notebook of all the goals I used to write down and all this ambition I had. And I was like, I threw all that away just to try and be accepted, right? To not be faced with criticism and everything. So anyways, I see that quote, and then about 6 months of having that as my background on my iPhone, it made sense one day. I was like, okay, wait, every time I try to fit in and do what other people want from me and make them proud, I'm miserable. But when I was being myself, I was the happiest guy on earth. And that's when it hit me that every time I decided to do something about my life, I was doing it for everyone else. I was doing it to make them proud, to make them happy. And I wasn't doing it for me, because I just thought that when I was doing it for me in high school, doing what I wanted to do, that everybody else was like hating it and they were judging me. And I was like, okay, well, that's not the right route then. I need to do it for everybody else. And that's honestly what I thought was the right thing to do. And I just woke up and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this for everybody else. I'm just gonna do it for me. And like I said, that took a lot of courage. Like, it's not easy. I went like, I think a full year still working on that same job, of like every day knowing what I should do, knowing what I should do, knowing what I should do. But it was just so easy to go to work, fit in, get the paycheck, leave, go hang out with the friends, don't have people talking about you, saying, oh, I heard you trying this, or hey, heard you doing that. And then one day, I don't know, it was literally just one random day, I woke up and I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care if people are gonna judge me, and I am going to start the business I've always wanted to. I'm gonna make the videos I've always wanted to. I'm gonna write the blogs I've always wanted to. I'm gonna do speaking like this like I've always wanted to. I'm gonna share my story, try and inspire other people. I'm gonna do everything that I've ever wanted to. And it just got in my mind that I'm just not gonna care what people have to say about me. I'm not gonna care if people are gonna judge me, criticize me, bring me down, say this and say that about me, because last time I cared what they said and went by their means, I was miserable. I was depressed. I was in the worst position of my life. So I told them that, well, I basically told myself that I'm only gonna do this for me. And that's when I found that my something was me. Before, it was everybody else. And a lot of people might tell you that it's selfish, or I'm selfish of myself to focus on me. But I think it's the farthest thing from being selfish. Like, the farthest thing. Selfish is if I had like a big pizza right here, and like started cutting it up, and you guys are like, oh, he's making enough slices for me, and then I just eat it all. Like, that is being selfish. But focusing on what you want and what makes you happy and what you want to pursue, that's the farthest thing from selfish. And another thing on top of that is your environment plays a huge role in that. By environment, I mean family, girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, all of that. Because I know that. And I just wanted all you guys to know that it's not hard. You will feel alone a lot of the times. I felt alone more than anything once I decided to do my own vision, or pursue my own vision, pursue my goals. And you're gonna have to cut people out of your life. I found that was hard. And I also realized something really good about this though. People that truly love you, they will understand what you want to do in life. If you tell them, hey, this is my plan, like I'm gonna quit this job to start this business, or I'm gonna quit my job, go to school, or I'm gonna quit school to go to this job, or I'm gonna quit school to be an entrepreneur, people that truly love you, they'll support you with that. They will tell you, hey, do you know what? Maybe that doesn't make me happy, but if it makes you happy, I want you to do that. So what I want to say is you got to surround yourself by those people. And it's not easy. It's very, very hard. But once you leave those people, you can find other people that will support you so you can be truly happy. Because I've been happier than I've ever been in my life. I get to do whatever I want. I get to run a business that is stressful as hell and sometimes makes me cry. But I mean, that's why I do it. I love it. I love it. There's times where I'm just banging my head and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? But at the end of the day, it's what I want to do. It makes me happy. And that's about it. So my something is me. And all of yours should be too. Because if you just try to make everybody else happy, you will never be happy. Thank you.